Bobbi Althoff's The Really Good podcast launched like a rocket in 2023, blowing up with millions of views thanks to her unique deadpan interviews with celebrities such as Shaquille O'Neal, Scarlett Johansson, and Lil Yachty. However, just a year and a half later, that rocket seems to have crash landed. Viewership has plummeted, and now she's slowly falling into irrelevancy. Bobbi started her social media career on TikTok in 2021 with dry, sarcastic videos about being a mother. Her videos weren't anything groundbreaking, but her consistency and commitment to posting daily ultimately paid off as she was able to garner millions of followers on TikTok. She only made 26 of them before pivoting into podcasting, carrying that same dry, sarcastic tone into the Really Good podcast. From there, she had her breakout moment thanks to her podcast episode with Funny Marco. With over 5 million views on YouTube alone, it spawned dozens of viral clips across social media. The humor was subtle, awkward, and oddly refreshing, and judging by the comments, everyone felt the same way. This is hilarious. Marco has found a white woman version of himself. This should be a permanent duo for real. This interview is like dialing 2 cell phones, putting them on speakerphone, and having 2 random people talk to each other. With Bobbi gaining a huge following from that video, she needed to cash in on her momentum to boost her podcast. And luckily for her, the social media gods were on her side and gave her a very special guest for her 4th episode, Drake.
My video with Marco went very viral, very viral. But yeah, then Drake liked one of the videos I had uploaded and he followed me.
After he followed her on Instagram, Bobbi took a leap of faith and sent a DM asking him to come on the show. And shockingly, he said yes. Landing Drake was a major milestone. As for the 1-hour episode, it was intimate, relaxed, and unlike anything fans had ever seen from Drake. So much so that people assumed Bobbi and Drake were old friends.
Huh?
You're not that anything or that intriguing?
No, I'm an anomaly.
Did you have trouble saying that word?
I don't know why I did.
Try it again.
I'm an anomaly.
Good job.
No surprise, the video and Bobbi's channel exploded. Over 10 million views and more than 500,000 new subscribers. An interview of this magnitude not only put Bobbi in the upper echelon of social media stars, it also gave her the credibility and juice to get any other big-name celebrity on her podcast. However, her interview with Drake wasn't all positive, and it slowly began to ruin her reputation. Why? Well, it's all because of this question.
Am I your type?
I'd do it.
Thank you.
You see, Bobbi being flirtatious with her guests wasn't new, as viewers also noticed that she had similar exchanges in the Funny Marco episode.
It should be called Tinder going wrong, where we meet on Tinder, and then we find out you're not my type, I'm not your type, but we already on it.
I don't believe that I'm not your type.
Now, you're probably thinking, what's wrong with the little flirting? It's harmless. Yeah, that's true. However, in Bobbi's case, she was married. And just 6 days after recording the Drake interview, her husband, Corey, filed for divorce. To make matters worse, she was also getting dragged online for skipping her daughter's birthday to film the Drake interview. All these events led to wild speculations that Bobbi had cheated on Corey with Drake. To separate her name from those rumors, she would delete the Drake interview, and they both would unfollow each other on social media. But it was too late. The narrative had stuck. Bobbi Althoff left her husband to thot around with rappers. She finally decided to speak out and put the rumors to rest when she shared a private DM between her and Dave Portnoy from Barstool Sports. My girlfriend says you hooked up with Drake and got divorced. I am saying that is not true. To which Bobbi replied, I am not commenting publicly, but off the record, you're right. That is not true. Regardless of the Drake interview going completely sideways, Bobbi still had a winning formula for success with her unique interviewing style, and she would continue to upload more podcast episodes. However, every move she made turned into more drama, like the time she got absolutely owned by hip-hop star Offset.
You need a little bit of seasoning. You ain't got no seasoning, man. You like a plain piece of chicken, just on the thing, you pull it off, and then you serve the dish. You need some motherfucking seasoning, man.
Or the time she went on Kiki Palmer's podcast and was accused of being an industry plant right to her face.
Well, you do feel kind of planty. We do have the same manager, so is this?
I know, isn't that crazy?
Feels a bit planty.
This is definitely
You got here in 5 minutes. It took me 20 years.
Hey, it has been a minute.
Reports then claimed her meteoric rise to fame was all thanks to her talent agency, WME, who also managed some of the guests that appeared on Bobbi's podcast. Of course, Bobbi denied those claims, but it's hard to believe a relatively unknown TikToker was able to land Drake on her podcast, all because of a DM on Instagram. You see, over the last few years, the term industry plant has become such a divisive term that many public figures try not to be labeled that. If you have the unfortunate luck of being called an industry plant, it can literally ruin your career because it has such a negative stigma attached to it. Now, is that pretty stupid? Yes. If a so-called industry plant is actually very talented on their own, it shouldn't really matter. Although the problem for Bobbi is that people didn't think she was talented at all. In the process, she also constantly claimed to be broke, telling Mark Cuban she had no money and was in $20,000 of debt. But people pointed out she was spending $500 on Chloe sandals. Oh, and her ex-husband, a millionaire who sold a $43 course to over 170,000 students. I'll let you guys do the math. Something else I found interesting while digging around as to why she wanted to do a podcast in the first place is that she was only driven by fame and being rich. She saw how much money other people made doing it and got motivated mentally.
And then I saw this video of a girl talking about how much she made from her podcast, and I think I mentally decided that she made like at least $300 a year on her podcast alone, and I was like, that's what I need to do next. Like, I need a podcast.
Hey Wired, let's do the responsible thing by highlighting people who are actually doing good in the world and not just chasing money. Look, there's nothing wrong with wanting to make boatloads of money. Everybody on the entire planet will love to be rich. However, if you're trying to sell people into caring about your product, content, or whatever, you need to be passionate about it. Or at least act like it. If you're going around doing all these interviews and they ask you, what got you into this? And the only answer is, because I want money, well then people are going to lose interest. And in Bobbi's case, that's exactly what happened. Just going by her channel, it's a struggle nowadays to get 1 million views on a video. A stark contrast to the millions of views she was pulling in just over a year ago. And when she constantly brings up the fact that she does little to zero research on her guests before every interview, then it's hard to believe any more high-profile celebrities will ever come on her podcast again.
And use, what is your interviewing technique?
Just no research, show up, and ask questions.
According to former fans of Bobbi, the innocent, cute gimmick she portrayed in the beginning of her online career was now a shallow persona fixated on just going viral. Like with many female influencers today, Bobbi also changed her appearance, leading to backlash online, which prompted her to respond.
I am so tired of all of the comments of people saying she ruined her face, and she can't even move her face, it's so frozen, she has so much filler. Let me just set the record straight real quick. One time and one time only. Actually, this is 2 times now. The only thing I have done to my face is that I have a little bit of filler in my upper lip, okay? That is it. I do not have cheek filler.
Unfortunately, this only led to more hate. I am so tired of Bobbi. Get off the internet, boring. Her 15 minutes are up. Bye, Bobbi. That last statement may not be true yet, but whether Bobbi knows it or not, her status as a big name in podcasting is slowly slipping away. She had a lightning in a bottle rise to fame that she maneuvered perfectly in the beginning, but since then, her content has become stale. Some might argue that Bobbi was never ready for the spotlight she stepped into. Going viral overnight may seem awesome, but if you don't know how to adjust to that fame, it can swallow you whole. Whether it was bad branding, personal drama, or just plain burnout, one thing is clear. The Really Good Podcast isn't so good anymore.